Second. Okay, discussion, April, did you?
No, that'll be Dr. White, and he just stepped out.
Okay.
This is a different.
Oh,
this is
here,
outside,
I'll
yeah.
go look.
Gotta get in.
I'll go look. I'll go look. If you want to go to the next thing, I'll find it.
What's that?
You want to move it to the hill?
Well, let's see if it's given 30 seconds.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot. Well, you can talk about your finger and the meditation.
No, this is the human services, and I am partly human in this hand, since there's still, here we go.
Hey,
Thank goodness we didn't have to listen to that.
thank you. Just give us a brief explanation, if you don't mind, for your resolution.
Sure. So thank you for hearing me. We've gotten approval from the COVID Oversight ARP Committee. Last night we got approval from Affordable Housing, and we got approval from Budget Finance. So the $1.6 million is an opportunity for MDHA to have direct human services. It'd be $800,000 per year of ARP money. Our thought process would be that we would serve 350 families at 7 of our legacy sites, which is attachment Exhibit A. So we have 7 legacy sites. We want to have intense services for about 50 families at each of those sites. What we're looking at is serving the lower tiers of families. So everyone talks about the benefits cliff. And that when you get to a certain level, you fall off and you don't have benefits to be served. What we're looking at is serving those families before they get to the benefit cliff, because we know we can't build our way through the affordable housing crisis. We have to start moving families through the housing continuum as we go. So MDHA right has staff that will provide facilitation. We would be working directly with organizations like Nashville State, the Urban League, Meharry Medical for assessments. We would be dealing with the 2 lower tiers. So we're in partnership on a $25 million grant opportunity that Martha O'Brien has. They're dealing with the top tier. So if you think about the top tier, once you do that, you've got 2 lower tiers that none of them serve. So what we're trying to do is figure out a way to move families through the housing continuum, serving them where they are, and actually figuring out ways to move their earned income. When I told the ARP committee, which is factual, the average earned income at those 7 sites is $8,500. Wow. We've got a lot of work to do. This is Nashville.
Definitely the
That's a year.
$8,500 a year.
Yes, that's the average earned income. So part of this is realizing that we've got to start moving families not up and out of their communities, but get them to job services, the mental health services, all of the services we talk about. But not only that, start moving them within the community as we're rebuilding KC and our legacy sites, move them to a tax credit. Tax credits that have earned income. And that at least puts them in a position, thank you, Jamie, as my chief of staff, so she's here to give me moral support. So this would give us seed money. So the $800,000 per year would be seed money for a demonstration program. We're already in conversations with the state of Tennessee, with Commissioner Clarence Carter on funding for long-term funding. And actually tomorrow I'll be in DC and be having a meeting that the Deputy Secretary of HUD will be at. To put it in front of her, what better way to say we need resources in Tennessee to address the affordable housing. So high level, that's what this is. It is meeting people where they are. It's having Nashville State provide services at our sites versus going to there. It's meeting people where they are. It's having the Urban League come to our locations and provide job readiness training there. It's working with other partners that we have on our list. So none of these dollars to end would be used for staff. I've already got money for my staff.
No staff.
No. This would be to pay for the direct services of these partnerships.
Very good, thank you. Questions?
I just would say it's not easy coming in front of 3 council committees with a big ask like this, especially I heard in one of the committees yesterday that You got stuck in an elevator, and so I can only imagine.
45 minutes.
Yeah, I can only imagine how terrifying that is, and then have to come in front of us. So thank you for being here and the great explanation, and most importantly, the good work.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and any other questions?
No,
I think it's good to know that the continuation, some of these projects, we get ARP money, but it's good to think down the road, because what's the next step, right? You guys have already talked about this so many times, so that's really good to know.
Thank you.
Okay, are you ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Enthusiastically, aye, yes.
Any opposed, abstain? Okay, 6 in favor, 0 against. Okay, thank you very much, and thanks for all you're doing. Good luck in DC. Hopefully you won't get stuck in an elevator in DC.
I won't, thank you.
Well, yeah. Okay, we have a late file amendment, late resolution, that is by Hauser, Roten, and Welch. Approves a grant between Metropolitan and the Salvation Army to provide temporary gap housing. And then there's a proposed late amendment also. So, did you want to go ahead and discuss the proposal? Oh, let me move to.
The bill first.
Yeah, move it.
Move.
Second.
Second. Sure. Okay. You want to give us April, did you want to talk about?
For the late file or for the amendment?
For the gap housing, the proposal for
Yeah,
the.
so this is a part of the mayor's initially, the initial 50 million housing first. This contract would have been before you then, as well as like the community care fellowship contract as well, except for no one says it better than Captain Canning about the number of countries and states that they're in. Also, the number of bureaucracy that comes along with that. So the lawyers wanted to make sure to review it as far as rightfully so, as far as reviewing the contract before signing on to the agreement. I believe it made it in time on the day of, and I think it was actually Metro that needed to get different financial signatures, and that's why it was a little bit of a late file. I think 15 minutes to be exact.
Yeah, so it was there on the day, just, as you said, 15 minutes.
Sounds good. And this is consistent with the plan that we approved?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Questions? No? Okay.
Oh, actually, I do have a question. One of the things in the contract is about security, about increasing security. How much, what do we have right now in security in that place, and how much are we going to increase it? Because it said it was a temporary increase in security.
Great, we have zero right now.
So the increase is actually from 0 to whatever.
0 to
2,160.
2. Yeah, I think it's 2.
2,160.
Do around the clock.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's for.
And I will say, it's not just security. Do you want to talk about the other staffing that you're also putting
Yeah, so
in
we'll
place?
also have approximately 4 staff members on site to help with any non-emergency type security needs that may come up, which we think will help tremendously in that area as well. Case managers being able to be on site and take care of immediate needs.
And as I recall, it's for 2 years?
Yes, 2-year contract.
Okay.
And if I recall, last night, and I believe it was Budget and Finance, Council Member Sepulveda said that this is actually in her district and that she's she's very supportive of this and is looking, because there is not security today. So I thought that was good to hear, because anytime that we're looking at adding security at some level, especially if it's, depending on the level of security needed, making sure that it's, and I believe in this, it's oftentimes retired police officers and things like that. So I think it's really good that she was supportive. That always is indicative to me of something when it's in the district.
I just want to point out, in the legislation you passed, one of the amendments that went along with it is that Council Lady Sepulveda and Council Lady Johnston would be able to see the agreement before it came to you. So we did send that to them beforehand. As a result of that, probably 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, Council Lady Sepulveda said, hey, can we meet out at the site so everybody understands, the property owner, Metro Police, Salvation Army, Mayor's Office, MHED, can talk through the challenges happening in that area right now, security, safety, what's happening on site, and the services that Salvation Army is going to bring through the contract. We did that on site. What we've agreed to do is have regular, probably virtual meetings to keep updated on the progress, not only of the Salvation Army, but there were some ask of basically every party that was there. Can we increase lighting? Can we get more Metro Police to come by? Can we get updates on Salvation Army? So we're going to have regular virtual meetings. So I just wanted you guys to know kind of what we've done between October 4th and what's before you today to make sure those council ladies, it's in Sepulveda's district, but right next to Johnson's district, to make sure that they're in the loop and they're updated on what's happening.
Both Sepulveda and Johnson agreed with the.
So I just wanted you to have that background because I thought it might be
And I'm really
helpful.
glad to hear that you guys actually were feet on the site. I'm one of those people that even when I meet with the developers, I say, I want to put my feet on the site. I want to get a good visual because that often is different than just looking at paper. So thank you for doing that.
How many are at the hotel that this is going to be? How many homeless?
Could be up to 120.
120? Okay. Other questions? Okay. We have a late resolution from Council Lady Welch.
An amendment, yeah.
Amendment. And the amendment just, it says recipient, which would be the contractor acknowledges and agrees that it will utilize a coordinated entry system in identifying persons who will be served, and there doesn't to be any concerns or problems with that.
We're fine with that.
Okay, so,
So I'd like to move my amendment.
Second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Movement is amendment is moved. Okay, the late resolution with the amendment. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Absent? Okay, very good. Let's see, 6, 7 in favor, 0 against. With that, any other questions that you have for April? Okay. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Okay, good deal.
For those that were going to